new situation and should be very interesting to follow what's going to happen now. But we are hopefully that the port is going to be much more important, that we can attract more shipping lines or ferry lines to the port. That's one of the aims of this. The port is specialized on ro-ro and ferry traffic. And today there are 2 daily departures to Gdynia, and this ferry service is made by Stena Line. And concerning the freight units, even also in our port, this has been decreased, as you can see on the following figures here, during years. But 2007 there was more than 93,000 freight units, but you know the economic crisis, which we have hopefully behind us now, was decreasing, a little more than 85,000 2008, and a little more than 66,000 2009. But it's going up now, as I understand. This year has been a change in these figures. But of course it was very hard to see this. And it was the same concerning passengers. 2007 was more than 400,000 passengers on this link. And it's, as you can see here, has decreased during the years. This is from the official statistics, these figures. We have intermodal facilities, and these are going to be improved in the Motorways of the Sea project. I'm coming back to that a little bit later. And Stena Line also increased the capacity now and are going to change ferries. The first one, the new one, is coming next week, the 2nd of November. And the capacity is increased both on freight and particular on passenger volumes. We see Baltic Link, the corridor from Gothenburg down to Karlskrona and further to Gdynia, as a missing link in the TNT network. And we have tried now to argue for that this link should be a part of the core TNT network after the revision. Let's see what happened. But one thing we know, that's that we are part of the Motorways of the Sea, which means that the sea connection between Gdynia and Karlskrona is now a part of the prioritized TNT network. And what do we think about Sonora, and what role does Sonora have for us in Karlskrona? One thing is to develop a green transport corridor from northern Scandinavia to the Adriatic Sea and Southeast Europe. Then we are talking not only about the Baltic Link, but also about the connections north to Norway. And there we work together with Nordland County Council, who is also associated partner in the Sonora project. And in this question we have a common interest with our Norwegian friends. We want also to create efficient intermodal solutions in the ports and in dry ports along this corridor. And we're also interested, of course, in those cargo flow analyses who are going to be made within the Sonora project. That's very important for us. mentioned Baltic Link, Motorways of the Sea, Gdynia, Karlskrona. And some of you was listening, I think, earlier today, but not all. So I mentioned this again. Here you can see on this map the pink line from Gdynia, from via Karlskrona up to a place called Alvesta, near the city of Växjö. That's the, how to say, the corridor for this MOS project. And there are going to be investments in Alvesta. It's the red dot highest on this map. And there are going to be an intermodal terminal, an improved intermodal terminal where the coast-to-coast line from Gothenburg to Karlskrona meets the southern trunk line, the main railway from Stockholm down to Malmö, Gothenburg. There's also going to be improvement of the railway north from Karlskrona. And there are investments in the port of Karlskrona and in the ferries. And we hope that this Baltic Link Motorways of the Sea project will develop and increase the capacity of service for rail-bound cargo. And that's the main question for us, that we could move some cargo from the roads to the railways and hopefully take the increasing cargo volumes also on trains. And of course, this one of the things is also that the transport corridors should be more environmental friendly. And we're looking, as I mentioned before, for the whole corridor from our side down to the Adriatic Sea. On this picture you can see the different investments and who are the beneficiary of these investments. The main investors is the Swedish Rail Administration, who newly have changed name to the Swedish Transport Administration, and that's the improvement of the coast-to-coast line. It's 77 million euros. And then we have the combined terminal in Alvesta, and there is the beneficiary is the municipality of Alvesta. It's 2 million euro. And then we have some investments in Karlskrona, rehabilitation of the port rail track, which is a municipal railway connecting the main railway system with the port. It's 2 million, and we should also electrify this railway, 1.5 million, and building new train tracks to 285,000, and make an ETS traffic management system for the traffic when we are crossing a big road. And we have also power connections to the ferries on the quays on the land side. We are going to make that from the municipality side. And then we have the power connection at the ferries, investments in the ferries, and there is Stena Line, the beneficiary. And then also, and I can say these investments are financed from the TNT budget, and we get 20% funding from EU. Then we have here in Gdynia road and rail infrastructure improvement, as Michelle was telling about just before me, and that's 22,600,000 financed by the Polish Cohesion Fund. I was mentioned before the traffic management system, and it's it's a system who let the traffic take another roads when it's passing the main entrance to the city, when we are passing with railways, because in the longer term we want to have a railway bridge over the road here in this point, but until then we must have such a system. I was mentioned here before the level crossings and the rehabilitation of the portrait track and so on. And this is the municipal railway, which lead to report.